Hi, my name is Josh, and this is a scene analysis. Today's subject, character and object movement in the cardinal directions of a frame. This is the first of 6 topics within the in-class lecture series, Principles of Frame Design, which I teach at the high school level. Let's get to it. First, we're going to start out with the most simplified and most used form of movement and direction, left and right. There's up and down, of course, but for the most part, the camera frame has an aspect ratio that favors the left to right direction. These same principles can be applied when designing for poster views with tall aspect ratios, like when designing phone apps and tall billboards. All you would need to do is switch left and right for down and up, the respective negative and positive direction. For the first few semesters of teaching this subject, I used the Every Frame a Painting video, Snowpiercer, left or right. This provides a great example of lateral movement between the left and right direction under the point of view of decision making. But let's look at a different context. Let's look at some chase scenes. We're going to look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Mission Impossible Fallout, both released in 2018. In each shot, meaning the clips that make up a scene, let's get an average direction for our first main character, Miles Morales.
Kill that guy.
In this scene, he's running away from the Prowler who has been sent for blood. In terms of only left and right, let's gather some directions. Now, let's take a look at our next main character, Ethan Hunt. This chase is split into 2 parts actually. Him running away from bad guys while also chasing August Walker, and the point in time when he's solely chasing his target.
Why is he running in circles?
And part 2 begins as soon as he's evaded capture, closing the door on his pursuers. Benji is telling Ethan Hunt to go left, but when that turn finally happens, the camera is set up so that Ethan's body is going left only for a split second before continuing right and running out of the frame. Over time, humanity has evolved to understand different directional cues. Since the majority of humanity is right-handed and/or reads from left to right and top to bottom, at least the target audience for both movies does, then they can translate that mind cue into saying the right direction is positive and the left direction is negative, or historically, unnatural. In Spider-Verse, Miles is solely running away, not even running towards anything. He's not going to his parents' house. He's not going back to school. Once he's evaded capture, then he ends up at his parents' house, but only after losing the Prowler do we get the positive upward movement of opening the window. Compared to Ethan Hunt's chase, in the first part, the main running direction is actually left and up. In the cathedral and in the staircase, we get left and up. Left because he's running away, and up because he is also chasing his own target. After closing the door, he begins running in the right direction. There are a few moments when we see him running left, but even in these moments, the camera crosses the character plane and he ends up running right. It's super interesting. Most smart chase scenes are set up like this. If the main character is running away from something, she is running to the left, and if she's running towards something, it will be to the right. An exception to this would be the opening scene of one of my personal favorites, Baby Driver. While the car is set up to drive forward and to the left, he reverses towards the right. This use of the right direction shows the audience that Baby initiates this chase 100% in control from start and onward to the finish, even though he is the one being chased. He has a purpose in his evasive maneuvers, so even though it broke some rules, it's still intelligently done by Edgar Wright and used for the right reasons. Now with Ethan Hunt's chase, we bring up another option of breaking down character direction: quadrants or angle. In mathematics, and for Americans it starts in the United States' algebra classroom, a grid is split into the following: quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And then we can assign positive and negative values to those quadrants. Quadrant 1 being positive, positive, quadrant 2, negative, positive, quadrant 3, negative, negative, and quadrant 4, positive, negative. The duo from Every Frame a Painting have another video about 2011's Drive, in which they discuss the quadrant system. And in this video, they talk about using the quadrants as locations within the frame. Is the character in top left or top right, for example? But what I'm going to cover here are the quadrant angles of direction. So instead of left and right, we have quadrant 1 being upward and to the right, quadrant 2 upward and to the left, quadrant 3 downward and to the left, and quadrant 4 downward and to the right. Let's think about what these could mean. In the quadrant 1 direction, the designer is usually trying to cue your mind into thinking about something super positive, where either the character or the object is progressing or in a state of success. Spider-Man is often pictured swinging in this pose, where from toe to head, he is extended in the upward right linear direction. And within the hero world, this is a regular occurrence. Superman is often flying in this direction. Captain Marvel, it's the same. Heroic linear poses are so often in this direction. For the quadrant 2 direction, we were able to describe with the beginning of Ethan Hunt's chase. The character is still climbing, he's just not traveling in the most direct way. Avengers Endgame, in this poster, these characters are trying to overcome insurmountable odds in order to overtake this very negative being, Thanos. They are hopeful, but it's going to take some work to reach the goal. Let's skip quadrant 3 and come back to it after we finish our last positive quadrant. In quadrant 4, the natural direction is falling forward or failing forward. The Flash does this by tripping forward in Zack Snyder's Justice League. In Parasite, whenever someone is descending the first floor stairs, they're going in this direction. They are progressing the story, but it almost always leads to trauma, like discovering a broken Kiwu. Then there is the descent before finding the flood on different stairs. It's progress, but there's underlying dread at the bottom of the mountain. There are exceptions. In Ethan Hunt's chase, he falls from a window. But what direction is he actually going in the frame? Upward and to the left. He's still falling, but he's falling towards his target. And then we have the most negative quadrant. Quadrant 3 is largely reserved for when the main character has no hope. Usually, a death is involved. In Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, the original descent of the knife in the shower scene before continued chaos ensues is in this direction. The same goes for Parasite, and the same occurs in Batman v Superman when Doomsday strikes his bone fragment through Superman's chest. It's the most depressing direction when done intelligently, but sometimes it's not.
You take that back! No.
But even these moments lead to some interesting visual conversations. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you were able to learn a little bit from this essay. There are a multitude of exceptions to this rule, and when done by the right director, are done wisely. Drop a comment with another example of good directional movement. Leave a like and subscribe for more video essays. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.